What's going on, y'all? H-Star here, going to be talking about this whole incident that has been going on regarding a YouTuber who thought it was a good idea to post a prank skit video, whatever the fuck he wanted to call it, of trying to have his 10-year-old brother trying to rizz up a grown-ass woman. I'm not going to put any clips of the video in here because I found it truly disturbing myself, but shout out to anybody who ever really was able to get through that whole video. But there would be moments in the video where this woman would be sitting there trying to shake her ass while this 10-year-old sitting next to her in a car. And even when they was alone, like she was like trying to put her hands on him and shit like that, hopping ass. And it's like, you see shit like that, a lot of people co-signing it, but here's the reality of this. A lot of people who co-sign shit like that have never once in their life was at a point where there was either between the ages of 13 and 18 and an older woman wanted to have relations with them. Whether it was a high school teacher, a co-worker at your first job, or a woman you ran into at a store. And those people really should not speak on this shit. There would be women anywhere in the age range from, like, say 21 and up who try to holler at me. Now, at that time, I didn't know any better. And of course, I went along with it because you're young. And when you're young in high school, you want somebody who's a bit older than you. That's normal for a high school kid. But the onus has always been on the woman to say, no, you're too young. I can't do nothing with you. And just leave it at that. You don't think about it at that moment, how crazy it is. But then when you grow up and look back in your life, or you see a story like this, you see a skit like this, somebody made this into a skit. Even back when there was a story of that creep who said that he had a similar taste to R. Kelly, that guy got ran off the fucking internet, and I hope he's in a jail cell somewhere. And stuff like that can make you think back and realize how wrong of it was. Not of you, but the person who went along with it and then be the adult in that situation and say no. And it's always segments like this where we see the sexualization of boys that happens all the damn time. Young boys as young as 13 or younger. And it's funny. People like to throw around the notion, protect the kids, think of the children, but they don't want to never protect and think about them until something done happened to them and it's too late. Then you got to take that kid to therapy now for the rest of their life because of some shit like that. And of course, on the flip side, when it's to girls, it's like universally clamped down on, as it should, but it shouldn't be any different with young men. It shouldn't get that same treatment because nobody wants to protect young boys from older women. And it's crazy. Like, let me tell you something. The amount of stories that comes from your local high school that you know personally, and that can range from anywhere going from as high up as the superintendent all the way throughout a teacher, faculty, vice principal, principal. If them stories were to ever hit public news, they would shut down schools. There would be so many schools shut down because of that shit. It isn't even funny. And people have normalized it to the point now where a grown woman is allowed to shake ass in front of a young man and they think nothing of it. Oh, it's just ass. Ain't nothing to worry about. They see it all the time. Well, here's the thing. But these excuses are only made to young men. And it's always never a problem unless something happens to a young man. If something happens to a young man where he was taken advantage of by an older woman, then nobody wants to do nothing. And in that moment, they're like, oh, well, did he want it? Did he like it? Did he enjoy it? Is he gay? Y'all would even call out a young man's sexuality. And honestly, what does this say about the women who do stuff like this? That they're willing to stoop that low. They want to go to a high school to look for a future husband. And peep something right here. This is the post in question, which this was posted like a month ago on his Instagram. The video's still up on YouTube. It's been out over a month. I don't know how this didn't get really spread anywhere else. But the fact you see that's the older brother. That's the 10-year-old brother. Here's the grown woman that was popping ass. Is it skit Yes. Is it planned? Yes. Is it a prank? Yes. But these are things y'all don't do. Both of these two definitely know better. He's 22 and she's grown. And see, there's one thing to point out. You don't see her tagged nowhere in this post or in the comment section or in the likes, even in the video on YouTube, which is for good reason, I'd imagine, because if she was in these comment sections or in the likes or being tagged in this post, or if she had shared it on her own page, they would have been sending death threats her way, if you ask me. And my thing about this is, it's bad enough that all these guys in here saying, oh, nah, bro, legend already. That's my boy. I guarantee you, whoever these two is, Curly Sav and B-Love, I guarantee you when they was in high school, they didn't get bitches like that. Because if they did, they wouldn't even be laughing about this shit. They would have tapped him on the shoulder and be like, yo, bro, maybe we shouldn't do this kid. And maybe there may be people say, oh, y'all just mad sensitive, bruh. Unless you've actually been through some shit like that, you can't speak on jack shit. And what makes matters worse, if she wanted to pop her ass so bad, you have an Instagram account, I assume. You have an iPhone or some type of camera with a ring light. All she had to do was cup her cakes in an IG post or a video with some Munch music playing in the back, and she would probably have tens of thousands of followers ready to throw her money off rip. The blueprint on how to, blow up your Instagram been out, ma'am, for God knows how long. And you didn't do that. You could have just went on Instagram, just shook some ass. But you agree to this. And mind you, I don't even think that she's even an IG model. Not even an up-and-coming IG model. There's so many IG models right now, bro. They would not even do this. I guarantee you, the most controversial woman on the planet, Brittany Renner, wouldn't even do this. And she's considered an IG model. She wouldn't do something like this. Any IG model with OnlyFans wouldn't do things like this. Anybody who's a porn star wouldn't do nothing like this. You know why? Because they're self-made. They already got their own millions of followers on IG. So what the fuck they need to pop some ass for in front of a 10-year-old for? She tried to do this for clout, but ironically didn't gain an ounce of clout in the process. That's funny. Now, that being said, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think this is really nothing but just a joke and I'm being too sensitive about it? Or do you understand where I'm coming from? Let me know what you think. Till next time, Ben H Dog here, and I'm out. Peace.